Hey friends. So this video, I'm going to show you how to do a couple of different stocks, showing you how to do a white stock and a brown stock. But first, I want to tell you why you're going to suddenly start seeing a bunch of cooking videos from me on this page. So this year, I decided that I really need to do something that is for myself, and I also want to do something that feels a little bit out of my comfort zone, but maybe something I've wanted to do or I've thought I could do for a while. So the thing I'm doing for myself, I'm going to reteach myself everything I learned in culinary school, the entire book, cover to cover. It's going to go through basics of, knife skills and stocks, all the way to desserts, presentation, charcuterie, everything in between. And I'm excited about it because I don't remember I want to say 80% of the information, but don't tell the chef that taught me that. But I really don't remember a lot of it. Like a lot of the small details, just like certain names for certain cuts of meat and just like certain kinds of sizes of knife skill cuts and just a bunch of small details of things where I'm like, wait, what was that again? I really don't remember. But I really want to learn this stuff again because when I went to culinary school 6 or 7 years ago, cooking has always been a huge passion of mine. I love it. I love making things for people, for a family. It's just, it just makes me feel so happy. So I really want to start getting really serious about cooking again. Being a mom is pretty difficult to want to cook all the time, especially when I'm doing grilled cheese and mac and cheese 80% of my day. So it's been hard to find that passion in cooking, being a mom. It's also me just coming out of survival mode, being a mom, and really finding my footing and now wanting to really do something that's just mine and I get to really, really enjoy and be happy about. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. So if you're interested in learning everything that you could learn in culinary school, follow along because I'm gonna go through the whole book, teach you, and honestly teach myself again because like I said, I don't remember a lot. So some of these videos, I'm gonna probably F it up, at least a few things here and there. So you can learn from my mistakes and learn from what I say, not what I do. So I think it's gonna be really fun and I'm really nervous to put myself on social media, for everybody to just critique my every little movement, to be like, hey, she doesn't know what she's doing. But I need to just push that fear aside and go for it. And this is me going for it. So if you like what you see, subscribe and follow, and I'll be on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram to start. I might spread out to Twitch and other stuff later. But for now, to start, I'm just gonna go through every recipe that I can find in the book, reteach everything. And so this first module that I'm starting with is going to be stocks and sauces. I'll teach you all the 5 mother sauces and then the sub sauces under that. And then this video, after I'm done chit-chatting, you're going to learn how to do a white stock and a brown stock and what the differences are between those. So here we go.
Showing you a beef, chicken, and veggie stock today. Our chicken and our veggie are both going to be a white stock, and our beef will be a brown stock. The only difference between the brown and the white is that ingredients are roasted with the brown stock prior to adding water. So here's some utensils you'll need in order to complete a stock. A nice 8 to 10 inch chef knife, some tongs, a stock pot with a lid, a chinois or a fine mesh strainer, and then something to hold your stock after that you can freeze, and some twine. The foundation for every good sauce or stock always starts with the Mirepoix. Mirepoix is a mixture of diced onion, carrot, and celery. Start by cutting off the root and the stem of your onion, cutting it in half. You're going to make some slices inward toward the root. You can do 2 or 3 depending on how large your onion is. Do a quarter turn. and about 5 or 6 slices down, depending again how big your onion is. And then another quarter turn back to the front, and then do a large dice just by chopping straight down. On the carrot, cut off the tip and the root, and then we're going to cut them into 8s. You don't really need to peel the carrot. As long as it's washed really well, that's fine. Make sure that when you're cutting your carrot, you're cutting it on a flat side down so it doesn't roll or slip out of your fingers. And a large dice on the carrot as well. I use about a half an onion, 1 large carrot, and 2 ribs of celery for every 6 quarts of stock. So again, just large dicing the celery and then set that aside. Smash down with the flat part of your knife 1 clove of garlic. Take the peel off, add the garlic to your mirepoix. For the chicken, I am using raw bones, but you can use pre-roasted if you have some left over from a rotisserie chicken that you bought. Next, top it off with 6 quarts of cold water. It's imperative that it's cold because the cold water will help to release the impurities that are in the meat and the bones and help them rise to the top that can be skimmed off easily. Next item I'm making is what's called a bouquet garni. A bouquet garni is basically any tied together herbs that are added to a stock or a broth or a sauce that's used for flavor. Mine is pretty classic. I use the outer skin of a leek, make sure it's really, really clean. I add in parsley stems, fresh thyme, a few peppercorns, and a bay leaf. And then I tie them all together with twine. This can be added to the water of the stock. So with your beef stock, we're gonna wait until after it's roasted to add that to the water. The other 2 stocks, they can start off with the bouquet garni in the water. For the beef stock, you can use any kind of beef marrow bone, beef soup bone, typically found in the freezer section. You want to make sure that the bones are thawed first. Add your mirepoix, garlic, and some olive oil. Roast at 450 for about an hour to an hour and a half. While our beef stock roasts, we'll get started with our veggie stock. I'm using turnip, bell pepper, some leek, all with a large dice, and again, our mirepoix, as well as a clove of garlic. I'm doing a much smaller stock for this white stock, about 4 quarts in total. Again, you're going to add cold water to this and a bouquet garni, just like you would the other stocks. Our white stocks are going to simmer for about 3 or 4 hours since it's a smaller size. Every hour, take a small strainer or a spoon and skim the top of the stock to get any of the things floating on the top, the impurities, out. They'll leave a really bitter flavor if they're left in the stock. I was a little short on time, so I took my pot out early with the beef bones. It could have caramelized a lot longer, but I took it out at about an hour. Add cold water to deglaze the pan. Our bouquet garni, put on the top, let it simmer, and wait. About 3 and 4 hours later, we're ready to strain. Go ahead and use your tongs to take out any of the large pieces. So the bouquet garni, the bones, any large pieces of veggie. Set up your chinois over a large bowl and very slowly strain everything into the bowl. There's a trick to getting the most out of your stocks, and that's hitting the back of the handle of your chinois or your strainer to get everything to release. And then you can use the chinois to strain the top one more time just to get any little pieces that may have fallen in. And this is our veggie stock. It came out really pretty and it smells really good. After you've strained everything, you want to transfer your stocks to a freezer safe bowl as soon as possible. Once they're totally cooled down, either in the fridge or the freezer, you can skim the top of any fats that are left over. Here's all the stocks. You can kind of tell veggie, beef, 2 on the top are chicken. They came out really good. I'm stoked.